What's up, everybody? Hopefully you guys are doing well and staying safe. You guys are avoiding that COVID bug that everyone's been going crazy over. But for real, like, hopefully you guys are staying safe, man. I know last episode you guys got to know Rel, you guys got to know me, you guys got to know about the show. We already did the friends and family package, you feel me? Like, today we're ready to drop some heat. We're really about to get into detail and talk about the bag, right? So let's get to it. Welcome to episode number 2 of Bag Talk, where we translate wealth. From the title of the video, you guys already know that we will be discussing the top 5 investments that you have to make in 2022. All right, so Rel, let's just kick it off for them, man.
Oh yeah, let's do it. Yo, we got some heat for them today. I ain't gonna lie. All right, so look, the first investment you should make in 2022, invest into index funds. So for my people who don't know what index funds are, I'll give you the exact definition. An index fund is a mutual fund or an ETF that tracks a specified basket of stocks. That's all. And so one of the most popular indexes is the S&P 500. The S&P 500 tracks the price movements of the top 500 U.S. companies. Top 500 companies. So
which is pretty crazy, right?
It's crazy.
Because you have like a basket that literally tracks it for you. You don't have to pick now.
You don't even got to pick.
That's a fact.
That's perfect, right? So the S&P 500, you can actually get access to that through an ETF called VOO. So search an ETF called VOO.
Which is sponsored by Vanguard, actually.
Yeah, by Vanguard. And then for those who want to get into a different ETF, you can get into one that tracks all the stocks in the market, the total market index, and that's VTI. You can get that ETF called VTI.
Which is another one for Vanguard, right?
Yeah, another Vanguard one.
Yes, sir. Just in case you guys didn't pick up on this, right? Like, because honestly, I think it's also good just to give them another example of something.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just break it down to something related to food, I guess, right? Because that's the first thing that came to mind, to be honest.
Of course he would choose food.
Not for real. But like, you ever been to like BJ's or like Costco and stuff like that, or like Trader Joe's, and they have like all the cookies and stuff like that, right? Like they have the chocolate chip, like
I know that too well. I ain't gonna lie.
You feel me? Like they got the chocolate chip, got the oatmeal raisin, the white chocolate, right? Sometimes you want to get like, oh damn, which one should I get? But like, there's literally actual basket or like container that lets you get all 3 and like 6 of them each, right? So you get the best of all worlds, you feel me? So that's kind of how you could think about ETF or a mutual fund that basically tracks like everything. So it makes your life easier.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You don't really got to pick anymore.
Yeah, and another cool part about actual ETFs and index funds in general is like they outperform the S&P 500, right? Which is what you said earlier.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's what it's like 80%. I'm actually looking at it. So 80% of actual fund managers, right, underperformed the S&P 500, which is kind of crazy
over the last 5 years.
Yeah, which is crazy to think about, right?
Yeah, and 90% of fund managers underperformed the S&P 500 over 15 years.
Yep.
So 80% underperform in 5 years. 90% underperform in 15 years.
Which is crazy because like a lot of the people, right, they're picking individuals, right? That's the thing. Like a lot of people pick individuals and they get into like the risky stuff, which you kind of want to avoid when you're a first time investor, right? That's what we're trying to say right now. This index fund and the ETFs that we're mentioning to you, they take care of that. Yeah. You feel me?
Absolutely. And even for experienced investors, I just think that it's always good to play it safe with ETFs because the S&P 500, for example, outperforms even the experts, as we just established.
And I'm not gonna lie, most of my money, like in terms of percentages, really was in VOO and in VTI. Just different platforms that I like to use.
Likewise. Yeah. And, some other ETFs that we should look out for. So, we came up with some picks for y'all today. So we got some heat. So listen up. So one ETF you could look out for will be the QQQ, Invesco QQQ. That's a tech ETF. So technology is an emerging. Not even emerging. Technology.
I was gonna say it's here.
It's here. It's established. Yeah. Technology is established.
It's been kicking butt for like the last 5 years, but already and more, to be honest.
Exactly. And the QQQ, that ETF tracks the Nasdaq 100, which is the top 100 non-financial companies. It's mostly tech. So QQQ is a tech ETF you could get into. They actually have been doing really well. They're up 26% year to date.
Before you continue on that, right?
Yeah. Something
cool to mention on this is because, you're mentioning 26% and people will be like, that's not a lot, right? Because COVID year is going crazy. The average return of, the stock market per year over the last 100 years is 10%. So just think about that, right? Like if Rel is saying right now that 26% was QQQ, right?
Yeah.
So think about it, 26% versus 10%, that's pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not just making this up.
For a fact. Absolutely. And for my people who have a higher risk tolerance, you could get into the TQQQ, which is the triple leveraged QQQ. So you actually have, it's a lot more like volatile because you have triple leverage, which means you're gonna benefit from crazy. You're gonna have crazier growth.
Yeah.
But when things are going south, you have a crazier decline as well.
Yeah.
So you gotta be careful with the TQQQ. But if you really are a believer in technology, and especially for younger people with less responsibilities, you should really look into the TQQQ.
Yeah.
Their performance, they're actually up 80% year to date.
Which is crazy, right? Because we just had 26% for QQQ. But we do want to note, like, this is all dependent on your risk tolerance. As Rel said, like, you have to be very careful. Like, younger people, it makes more sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Bro, like, and just so you know, like, for QQQ, some of their best holdings would be like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Tesla, Google. Come on, you can't beat those. So
yeah, facts. These are like the best companies in their industry, right? Like,
Yeah.
that makes sense. I think they have like PayPal and stuff like that too, which is just keep an eye onto the list. You feel me?
that's a fact. And my ETF pick of the year.
Right.
This is my ETF pick of the year. So listen up. And I know Newski agrees. So SOXX. All right, this is iShares Semiconductor ETF. SOXX. Shout out to Kazi, because I know I talked to
fact.
to
Shout
her
out Kazi,
about
man.
this. Yeah, that's our friend
Shout
Kazi.
out Kazi.
So y'all gotta understand, right now there is a global chip shortage, as you might have heard. Because in the heart of Corona, there was a global chip shortage, and it's expected to continue into next year, like 2022 and 2023. And so the SOXX ETF is actually an ETF for semiconductors, which is the chip shortage, right? So semiconductors, they produce chips. And just to even like give you a picture of how the chip shortage is affecting us, it's been estimated that 169 industries are impacted by the shortage.
Which is crazy, because if you really think about it, like, chip shortages, I know it was impacting cars like crazy, right? Like, I remember I just got my car right now. I went to so many different dealerships, and bro, they didn't have the car I was looking for. Like, I'm talking like most basic. I'm not going crazy. Like Nissans, Hondas, Toyotas. The boy was telling me there's one in stock for blue color, red color, the most like crazy colors, because they didn't have black and white. Because it chips, literally.
Bro, that's why my boy, shout out Mike, he been flipping cars.
That's a fact.
Shout out Mike for that, because there's opportunities everywhere. So in times like these, Corona and stuff, where things are changing, our economy's changing, find opportunities. That's what people do. So they've been flipping things that need chips because they're scarce. So now we have supply and demand.
Literally, what Mike just doing right now, like, used cars are going crazy right now. Like, people, if you got a car like 10 years ago, you bought it for $20K. Honestly, you could try to get 50% of the value back. You might be able to get 12%, depending on how much mileage you have. But like, you might be able to get that $12K back for
real life. I mean, even other industries like Apple has reportedly cut production of the iPad in half. And they actually had to repurpose older iPhone parts to use it in the iPhone 13.
I didn't even know that, actually. That's kind of crazy.
It's wild, bro. Like, the chip shortage is affecting everything. So, chip shortages, I mean, just to give y'all an idea of how essential they are to our, like, society right now, I have some notes for y'all on exactly what they affect. So, peep game, right? Computers use them to direct the commands that you give it. Smartphones use semiconductor chips for, like, display, navigation, 4G, battery use, taking pictures, everything. Household appliances use them. We got fridges, microwaves, washing machines, air conditioners use them. Baking.
My fault. That's actually crazy, because like, if you think about it, literally everything that you named so far, I wouldn't actually think that I would use them.
Bro.
Like, it didn't process for me personally.
Yeah.
But microwave, you said microwaves, fridges?
Microwaves, fridges,
air
conditioners. Like,
that's tough.
Bro, banking systems for online communication.
That's why it's the pick of the year.
Feel me? Cloud platforms.
That's actually crazy.
ATMs, they need them for ATMs.
Facts. That makes sense, actually. That does make sense.
For sure. Security cameras, cars, buses, trains, planes use them, GPS systems, Wi-Fi. Bro, even I know everybody loves Tesla, yo. Tesla and all these electronic vehicles.
Oh, wow.
Electronic vehicles, right? It's the whole push towards the whole autonomous driving. These things will need chips.
Yeah.
In order to power that industry. Semiconductors actually are needed to produce semiconductors. Because
say that again, bro. We got no. I got lost for a second. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Semiconductors are needed to produce semiconductors because of manufacturing.
I heard it. Right? This guy out here rapping his I have no idea what he's saying.
It goes crazy, Nah,
I do. It definitely does.
So like I said, the ETF for that would be called SOXX. It's up 42% year to date. SMH is another popular semiconductor ETF. They're up about 40% year to date. So look into those, but SOXX is my ETF pick of the year.
Which is wild, right? Because if you think about it, look at the numbers he's saying. I just want to make sure y'all are hearing him. Like, you said 42% and then 40% and 26% earlier.
Yeah.
Right? And then 80% earlier.
Yeah, facts.
Like, just think about this, right? Like, I know we hear a lot of crazy stories, but that's pretty damn good, man. Like, compared to what you have the exposure to, the risk you're taking versus the return you're getting, and you're already beating the S&P 500 average, I guess, over the last 100 years, right? So it's pretty cool. But that should cover, I believe, number one for us, index funds.
Yeah.
All right, bet. So investment number two, right, is individual stocks. So I know we just mentioned the whole funds approach. I know we mentioned the whole basket and how you have exposure to a bunch of different individual stuff within that basket. But the thing is, we understand that sometimes you want to hit the home run, right? Like y'all want to get that GameStop. Y'all want to go to Reddit real quick and go crazy, right?
Yeah.
We get it, bro. We get it. But what we've done, right, is you want to be smart and pick credible picks, right? So we've actually came up with a few lists, right, based on what we think is going to, produce for you guys. So based on what you were saying earlier with the semiconductors, I know you want to hit this one off too, right?
Yeah, I might
so
follow up with it.
Yeah, do your thing.
NVIDIA, which, by the way, in SOXX is their top holding, because ETFs hold a bunch of stocks, right? So their top holding, they have the most money allocated towards NVIDIA. NVIDIA is a leader, right, in America for providing chips. It actually is going to power the future of self-driving cars and cloud gaming.
Which is huge. Cloud gaming is literally the future. We're seeing it right now.
Yeah, all over. You know what I mean? NVIDIA said that their chip will act as the brain for the Neo ET7, which will be a highly autonomous electronic vehicle.
Watch out, Tesla, for real.
Yeah, for real. And, that should be arriving actually in Q1 of 2022.
Yeah.
So stay on the lookout for that. They're also expanding into AI, artificial intelligence chips, as we know that's a huge part of our future. They're using supercomputers, data centers, drug development as well. And
it's going crazy.
bro, it's going crazy, bro. Amazon, we all love Amazon.
Yeah.
NVIDIA supplies Amazon Web Services with chips for their data centers.
Which is wild, because if you think about it, what does Amazon Web Services do for people? Literally everything. Like, for real, all the top companies using Amazon Web Services, they're top 5 in cloud computing, everything.
Yeah.
So NVIDIA's obviously got a big hand in what they do, right?
Exactly. And for my crypto lovers, which you stay tuned on that. But NVIDIA chips are used for Bitcoin mining, everybody. And these chips are actually keys to the emerging metaverse, which we're going to cover a lot on this channel. But the adoption of metaverses and cryptocurrencies are at demand through NVIDIA chips.
Which makes sense. To be honest with you, I'm not going to lie. Like, I like all the picks, right? That we talked about indexes funds, but I do think, as I said earlier, individual stocks as the second best investment that you could make in 2022. You have to pick credible companies, and NVIDIA is a very, very credible company, right? Yeah. They've grown obviously at a crazy rapid pace. Yeah. You feel me? So that's definitely it. Go ahead, my fault.
Yeah, and just to finish up on NVIDIA real quick, because we all talk about the metaverse, but you got to invest in like the infrastructure of the metaverse. So NVIDIA is providing the infrastructure. They're up 125% year to date. They actually went up as high as 155% recently. They're just on a small dip right now. Their 5-year chart looks extremely healthy,
which is something you gotta look at for sure.
Yeah, I'm about to say the same thing. And they have more cash than debt. That's also key. So that's NVIDIA, y'all. Definitely look into that for sure.
For real. I'm going to probably just go with some other ones as well. No, we looked up a bunch for you guys. In the entertainment industry, this one, I think might, you guys might be scratching your heads a little bit. Disney, right? Disney. The reason why y'all might be scratching your head a little bit, because we've had conversations on this, right? You feel me? Fact. Like, you could sway one way or another, but at the end of the day, y'all not going to say that Disney is not a content king, right? Like, they literally create content for everyone, and it goes crazy. So some of the numbers that you could look at that you might think about, Disney's obviously down, right? I know you all probably going on Robinhood right now being like, yo, what is that? I'll tell you right now. As of right now, the time of this video, 15% down year to date, right? 15% down. I know Rel just talked about everything that's up. I'm saying it's down right now, right? But if you really look at the business, like the fundamentals of it, it honestly makes sense. Like, so numbers right here, if you look at it, right? Like, look at what they're reporting. I'm reading right now that revenue numbers were higher in their latest earnings, right? 26% year-to-year growth. So although the company is down 15%, they actually reported 26% growth, which is wild.
That's
right?
impressive. That's impressive. I ain't gonna lie.
Not for real. Like,
Facts.
and they return to profitability. They're not losing. They're profitable, which is obviously pretty crazy, right? Let's just talk about some other things they're doing. Management has said that they will be adding 30 million Disney Plus subscribers by 2024. Right, so like they're aiming to have 230 million to 260 million. That's a pretty large number.
Nah, they going crazy.
You feel me?
That. Yeah.
Like, and this doesn't include, like, this is just Disney Plus. This doesn't include Hulu and ESPN, which, if you guys don't know, Disney owns those platforms, right?
Did y'all hear those names? Hulu and ESPN.
Like, just think about it. Sports, like Hulu. I don't personally have it, but I know I have Disney Plus and ESPN. Hulu people, y'all know what to do with that. Clearly, you feel me? Another thing. 50 new countries they're planning to launch in Disney Plus. So that's more exposure.
Global expansion.
You feel me?
I love it.
So some of the other stuff they have coming out, like content-wise, like Aladdin's coming out, Black Panther's coming out, Ice Age's coming out. All this different stuff that's going to come out is going to obviously make an impact. The Spider-Man movie that just came out, although Disney does not make money from Spider-Man coming out, like the actual movie, but the actual merchandise, it does make money from, which is obviously crazy. Y'all remember, what was that show on Netflix everyone was going crazy over?
Squid Game?
Squid Games, right? Like, remember that merch?
Yep,
everyone was going crazy?
Merch,
that's the same thing, Spider-Man. Like, think
Facts.
about Disney. So Disney's another pick y'all could look out for, right? Finally, I don't know if y'all remember this one. So in the first episode, Rel and I were like, should we tell you our favorite company? You know what? We're finally about to tell y'all. So I don't care. I still say Square, but it is Block now, right? You know, it hurts me to say, but Block.
We've been in this one from years now.
Yeah, like
some years now.
Not for real. Like we personally love PayPal and Block, right? The reason why we love those companies is because at the end of the day, you have to look for the future, right? So as Rel was just talking about, like, NVIDIA is the future, right? We're thinking about how it's going to trend. Disney, although it's an old company, the future is very profitable because, look, they're talking about 2024. Now, same thing with PayPal and Block, right? So if you look at the future, everything is trending in terms of digital currency, right? Like, do you ever carry cash?
Barely.
I don't carry cash. Like, everyone should know that if you all go out with me, you have to know everything's on Cash App.
He really never carried cash.
I swear to God. Like, it's actually bad. Like, when I'm going to the MTA, bro, Apple Pay, boom. Yeah. Like, everything. Like, I'll go to the deli, my boy, like, yo, what's up, bro? I don't got $5 on me, but I got Cash App. I pay my barber with PayPal. Like, Venmo, for real.
That's facts.
So just think about it. I'm not even playing, like, for real. So these are some of the numbers I'm going to spit at you, right? Block is down 27% year to date, right? PayPal is down 20%. So remember, they're down, okay? But let's just think about it. Remember, fundamentals, okay? So here comes some more numbers. Stick with me if you can.
Fundamentals.
For real, stick with me if you can, right? Square has $3.8 billion in cash, right, on their balance sheet, which is an increase from last year's amount of $1.5 billion. You feel me?
Yeah.
While having $2.9 billion in long-term debt. So if you do that math real quick, what does that show? That they could pay off their debt, bro.
Yup, that's major.
You feel me? Like, I know you just mentioned last time that NVIDIA is the same thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They have a healthy balance sheet.
Because companies take on debt. You know?
You have to.
Exactly. It's good that. Just like we should, and we'll talk about real estate, etc. You might have to take on debt in order to cop an asset.
Yeah, not for real. Like, if you're not taking on debt, like, and it's bad debt, you know what I mean? Like, it makes sense. But if you're taking on good debt, you're going to have to. That's how you expand, right? So I just said Block, right? So Block has 3.8. Let's talk about PayPal. 13 billion in cash and investments on their balance sheet, which is an increase. It's wild, bro. Which is an increase from last year's of 10.7 billion. So they're increasing on there with long-term debt of 7 billion, right? So they're able to pay this stuff off. It's not just like, yo, we're taking this off and we can't pay it off. These are healthy companies. Now, this is what's really going to blow your minds, right? So remember, we're talking about the future here, right? We're talking about the best companies in the world, like Amazon's, Google's, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Well, guess what? Google just did. What? Google announced a deal with Block back in May of 2021 when it was still called Square, right? Like, back that, yo, we're going to partner with you now for all the transaction information, right? So
that's a heavy hitter.
Now, for real, like, all the e-commerce stuff,
yeah,
they partnered with Square, which is now Block, right? Mm-hmm. To compete against Amazon. But Amazon partnered with PayPal. So just think about that. We're suggesting that you do PayPal and Block. They both have individual partnerships with Amazon and Google.
Mm-hmm. They're both financial technology. They're both
fintech, which is wild. Like, you could literally go to Amazon, and this is not right now. Like, currently, they're going to roll it out in this year. I don't have the exact date for it, but it is coming out this year, right? Mm-hmm. That you're going to be able to cash out using Venmo now. which is obviously huge, right?
That's major for that platform.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So those are other two. And finally, this is our baby right here, Microsoft. You feel me? Like, everyone's gonna say right now, such a boring investment. Y'all don't know anything. Yeah, like for real, like people really want to try to hit home runs with the GameStop and all this stuff. But for real, bro, at the end of the day, if you can't stomach a 300% loss in a day, don't be investing in that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, we like to invest in companies that make sense to us. Obviously, we're reading you numbers because we do our research on balance sheets. So let's talk about Microsoft, right? You guys say it's boring. We say it's profitable. The stock has, not for real. The stock has gained for 10 consecutive years.
It's never boring making money.
It's never. Are you mad if you lose $100? I'm mad if I lose $100.
Bro, you don't lose with Microsoft though.
You feel me? Exactly. Like, the stock has gained for 10 years in a row. I'm gonna say that again, right? Double-digit gain as well. This actual company has gone up nearly, like, it obviously changes every single day, but nearly 1,200% since 2011. 1,200%.
I don't think they really hear that properly.
Like, come on, bro. Like. And the crazy part is, like, analysts are still saying it's going to go up. They're saying that year to year for this coming year, they're saying a 17.2%.
Microsoft don't stop. Somebody got to stop them. Right?
Nah, for real. They can't get away with this. Nah, for real. Like, wait, and what was the return, bro? 10%. Think about it, 10%.
Average return of the stock, 10%.
And look at these things that we're saying to y'all. Like, y'all have to be listening. And finally, the cherry on top. So, obviously, you want to look at companies that have a healthy balance sheet, that don't have debt, that are being innovative, that have great leaders. So let's talk about it, right? What's going on right now? COVID. So obviously, healthcare is seeing a boom, right? What does Microsoft do? Yo, I know this is a booming industry. So what am I going to do? I'm going to actually partner up with CVS.
Heavy hitter.
So you feel me? Microsoft said, I'm going to partner up with CVS to ramp up its digital transformation. So now this is going to help CVS actually get all the data, right? They're going to get their personal customer experience so they can provide them to the patients that they actually go through. But what does Microsoft get from this? Data. Just think about it. They're literally collecting data.
Data runs everything.
For real. You just talked about everything with the chip shortage. That's all data, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, literally, they're collecting data, which you don't think they're going to use for advertising purposes. Come on, man. Like, you got
chess, not checkers.
Yeah, you gotta think about it. Like, it literally chose. CVS went there and said, "I'm choosing Microsoft as my preferred cloud performance provider." So they could have chosen Amazon Web Services. They could have went with Google. They could have went with any other cloud provider.
Yeah.
But they said Microsoft. So what does that show you? That CVS's data is now in Microsoft? What?
Credibility.
What? Like,
credibility.
And I'm not like just thinking about if you're in the business world, you're in corporate, right? Laptops, desktops, monitors, like operating systems, keyboards, mouses, everything you think about. It's just reoccurring revenue for these guys. So that is another pick for us. So we got Microsoft, we got Block, we got PayPal, we got Nvidia, right?
Yeah.
And Disney.
And I want to say also, the U.S. spends the most money on healthcare, by the way. So that's a power move, first of all. Also, something I want to say on Square/Block. Yeah. Right? Because their CEO...
We struggle, by the way. We're still trying to get used to the whole Block thing. It just changed. You feel me?
We've been saying Square for literal years now. So
we're OGs, bro. That's all it is.
You know what I mean? But their CEO, Jack Dorsey, is somebody we think is brilliant.
Yeah,
brilliant CEO. So that's another
shout
reason
out to him for sure.
That's another reason to get into it. He's real innovative. And he's also planning to build a decentralized Bitcoin exchange. So it's just
that's tough.
It's a lot going on.
Nah, for real. Like the reason why this is only going to get better for him is honestly the innovative mindset that he has, man. That's really going to go far. But that wraps up number 2, right? So far we got obviously indexes as number 1. Number 2, we got individuals, and number 3, we got the Roth IRA, right? So right now, y'all might be thinking, like, if you guys know what an IRA is, right now, you guys might be thinking, oh my God, retirement, this is boring. We're going to say this on this channel a lot, so please get used to it. It is never too early to plan for retirement.
Ever. And people are living longer. I hope y'all realize that. People think that, like, oh, when I retire at 65, I'm ready. No, people are living longer. You have a long life to live after. You have to be able to fund the rest of your life.
And that's the crazy part. Like, so please pay attention to this one, right? Like, don't just skip over it. So Roth IRA. IRA is individual retirement account, right? And this is another retirement strategy you could use besides just your 401k, because that 401k, to be honest, bro, y'all don't really know what you're investing in right now. If I ask you right now to go and check what you're investing in, you don't know. But Roth IRA, you will be able to pick and choose your own thing. You feel me? So Roth IRA is an option that you could choose that basically says, yo, I'm going to pay taxes on the money that I'm investing now, like currently, right? So for example, if I invest $6,000 right now, I pay tax on those $6,000, right? And when I take out my money in the future, all the money that I'm making, right? Literally all the money, all the interest is tax-free when I pull it out. Which is great because personally, taxes are probably going to go up, right? You feel me?
I believe that as well.
Like that's why Roth IRA is a great option. You could do traditional IRA as well, but the only difference between them is traditional, you get a tax deductible because you don't pay taxes now, you pay taxes later when you pull out your money. Our opinion, is Roth makes more sense, right? And the limit on the Roth IRA account based on how much you make is if you're single, it's $129,000, right? That's when the limit is. It goes up to $144,000. So what does that mean, right? Since you can only contribute $6,000 to Roth IRA, right, up until 50, it means that if you make over $129,000, you won't be able to actually invest the full $6,000, right? It becomes $5,500, and then if you make 135, it becomes 5,000 up until 144. I'm sorry, 144, right? It becomes zero. You can't actually do a Roth at that point, right? But traditional, you can do as much as you want. You feel me? So that's why that's obviously important to know which one you're going with. And remember, the limit is 6,000, but if you're 50, you can actually do a 7,000. So they give those people a little, catch up. So that's why it's super important. And no matter what, this is something that people say all the time, like the Roth IRA thing. Like, I make too much money to do a Roth IRA. You actually can still do a Roth IRA.
I hate when people say that. Oh my gosh.
Nah, for real. Like, because I feel like people don't realize this part, and I get it sometimes, but you actually can still do a Roth IRA. You just have to do a backdoor option. So if you're a brokerage, right, if you do like Fidelity or Vanguard, for example, if they offer a Roth and traditional, which most brokerages do, to be honest, all you have to do is let them know, like, yo, I have a traditional IRA right now. I just want to transfer it to a Roth IRA. Yes, you do pay taxes once again because remember, Roth, you pay taxes now.
Yeah.
But in our opinion, to be honest, it makes more sense to pay taxes now.
Yeah.
You feel me? So that summarizes that piece, and I think you guys should really look this up if it makes sense for you and your family. But in our opinion, it definitely does make sense to convert it.
The reason why I said I hate when people say that, as far as like, I make too much for a Roth, is because I feel like people just say that for a flex sometimes. Like, I make too much for a Roth, and it's like,
nah, you definitely do.
Better actually know you can still contribute to a Roth through the back door.
Yeah, and it's wild because like literally I've talked to people who make way more than this, right? Like they make $700,000, $500,000. They're able to do it. All you have to do is talk to your CPA, talk to your brokerage, and they make it work.
Yeah,
for real. And that is number 3. So Roth IRA, and then 4.
Number 4.
I'm gonna be quiet for this one.
Number 4, chime in. Number 4 is crypto, man. Crypto. Y'all gotta get into crypto, especially. I'm not gonna say especially my younger people, but I will say like younger people, you're gonna be able to really benefit from crypto as mass adoption continues. Bitcoin has had a 4,000. Let me. Bitcoin has had
he wants to say it again.
Gotta say it again. Yeah. Bitcoin has had a 4,873% return in the last 5 years.
That's insane. That's actually disgusting.
That's nauseating.
In the last 10 years, greater than 99,000. That makes it even more nauseating. That's actually wild.
99.
That's disgusting.
I don't think I know some of y'all didn't do too well in math. You know what I mean? Like,
the shade. The shade is crazy. Yeah, don't unsubscribe because of him. Literally, don't do that.
I love y'all daily. Thank you for watching. No, I'm just saying, like, 99,000% is crazy.
Ethereum is another one. Please mention that, please.
Ethereum, arguably my favorite. Arguably though, I don't know, but Ethereum has a 36,452% return in the last 5 years.
Wow. Remember what he said about Bitcoin was 4,873. Ethereum 36,000. Whereas S&P 500, you're getting your returns. But I'm just saying, man, crypto is a little different ballgame. S&P has literally returned in the same 5-year time span we talked about. It's not bad, right? But 109%.
And just as a reminder, the S&P 500, that's what I talked about earlier with the index funds, right?
Right. Top 500 companies.
Top 500 companies, safe way to go about it. Like you said, what was it again for the past 5 years?
109%. Yeah. In the last 10 years, 278%. right?
And we said 10 years for Bitcoin was 99,000%.
Let me make sure. Yeah, 99,000. Which is crazy, right? But with that being said, right, we want to note this because I think it's very important to note this as well. That, you feel me? Like the whole thing about, you know, crypto, it's all based on your risk tolerance, right? Like, all jokes aside, y'all heard me go serious real quick, is because a lot of my friends actually I know invest in crypto, but then a lot of my friends I know don't invest in crypto, right? So it's like one way or another, but
people either love it or hate it.
Yeah, like, but I think it's really important to know this, right? If you're super conservative, right, you might want to just put 5% of your investing portfolio into crypto, right? If you're super into crypto and you think it's going to go crazy, you might say, yo, I want this to be more than 20%. I want this to be 50%. I want this to be 100%. We know someone that's literally 100%. We won't say who, but you know who you are, bro.
You know who you are.
Nah, for real. You know who you are. Facts. But for real, like, make sure y'all do your own research on which crypto you rock with, and make sure you do your own research on your own risk tolerance, right? Because that's very important. For me personally, I know we differ on this a little bit, right? But me personally, Bitcoin and Ethereum are my only two that I rock with, right? I have nearly 20% of my portfolio in terms of my investments within those two split, right? Because that's just something that I believe is going to be the future in that space. Yeah. You know, I know you obviously have other ones that you want to rock with, so speak on those, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of Bitcoin, Ethereum. You cannot go wrong with those.
Facts.
Something that I think you guys should look into would be Solana.
Right.
I think Solana is coming up. Solana is actually Solana has produced year to year, right?
Which is crazy.
9,000. Yo, in the past year, they've produced 9,366%.
It's just wild to me because, like, literally think about these percentages that we're saying and compare it to what we said in the first two sessions.
We were talking about 26%.
Yeah,
now we're talking about
like thousands
of percent in 1 year. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, on January 3rd, 2021, we talking about a year ago, Solana was $1.88, and at the time of this video, it's actually, excuse me, it went as high as $260. I'd rather you think of it like that.
Yeah, fast.
From 188 to 260.
Don't even tell them the price right now.
Because right now it's a little bit down. The crypto market is like down right now. And that's the thing, as we were talking about, crypto moves up and down rapidly.
Facts.
So you got to know what you're doing. Like, we'll help y'all with that over time. We got stuff for you, trust me. But like, when you're strategic with crypto, you know when to get in and when to get out, and then reinvest on the lows. But Solana is an Ethereum network competitor, though. For people who are looking into Solana, they have way higher transaction speeds. Like, they can transact. Let me tell y'all right now. Actually, they combine proof of stake and proof of history in order to verify their transactions, and that's why they can verify way more transactions than Ethereum could.
For the listeners that don't know what proof of stake and proof of history is, right, we're going to cover that later on for y'all as well. Like, we don't want to dive into it too much right now, but that's a whole different thing we're going to have in Crypto 101 for y'all, you feel me? But I think what he's saying is super important because if you heard him correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong actually, it's an Ethereum competitor, right?
It's an Ethereum competitor, for sure. And I know Ethereum is like extra popular. Everybody know about Ethereum. I'm just saying that you should look out for Solana. They did really well last year, as I just told you, that almost 10,000% in a year. A lot of NFT platforms are being built on Solana now, as opposed to Ethereum. Ethereum was the most popular one. It still is the most popular one, but it's just like Solana is low key creeping up.
Facts.
You know what I mean? When Kobe came in the league and like Jordan kind of seen him. You know,
you really said so Jordan would be Ethereum.
Jordan would be Ethereum. That's tough. And Solana.
I'm not putting Solana on Kobe level yet.
I'm just saying. Solana's looking like Kobe and like 99 right now.
That's tough.
Showing signs, you feel me?
That's tough. But speaking of these big names, right? I think it's super important to also say, like, it is a smart idea once again, like, to follow where the money is going. You feel me? Like, if all the big companies are getting involved, like big banks are now getting involved, right?
In crypto.
In crypto, yeah. I'm sorry. Make sure we say that. In crypto, right? Companies like Amazon, Google are getting involved. And even people like Elon Musk, Bill Gates, you got Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban speaks on this a lot, actually.
Heavy. He's an Ethereum like fan, like real life fan.
Nah, for real. Jeff Bezos is talking about it as well. So it's just, think about it, right? If people like who make $1 million and $1 billion in a month are doing this, businesses are doing this, I think it makes sense for us to follow. We used to make fun of the computer before the computer was there. You feel me?
Yeah. I posted a video on my page before showing how they laughed at Bill Gates when
when
he brought up the internet. They was laughing at him.
Yep.
He was like, yeah, this internet thing, all right. And then look at it now. It's all I watched that video on the internet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the same thing with metaverse. It's just all these new concepts, you know what I mean? Like, it's always laughed at first until it's here now. And while people are laughing, the millions and the billionaires, they putting money in.
Yeah.
And then there goes the wealth guy.
There we go. That's a fact. And that wraps up number 4, right? You feel me? All right, so number 5, don't get mad at us. Do not get mad at us. We need y'all to invest in yourself, right? Because, once again, do not get mad. But y'all are really out here buying Jordan 1s, going crazy on the Gucci shirts, buying all these chains.
What about the likes, though? Can't get likes on
your my God. Page. Nah, but for real, like, come on, son. Y'all want to spend all that money, right? And it's crazy. Y'all don't even have a budget yet. Like, that's really crazy. Unless you're someone who owns, like, a shoe business. Like, shout out to my boy Seth. You feel me? And the seller. Like, unless you own, like, a clothing brand.
Oh, like my brother Akini. Shout out Blunt Life Clothing.
Yeah, you feel me? Like, unless you have that type of business, you have to have a budget where you know where your money is going, right? Like, y'all can't just be going out here and doing all this stuff, you know, I might say dumb, I'm sorry. Y'all can't be going out there and just doing stuff without knowing how much you can spend, right? So budget is super important. And I already know what y'all thinking. I don't know how to do a budget. Like, oh my God, I don't want to look at my expenses. No, stop it. I don't care. Like, y'all actually are going to get blessed right now, right? Should we tell them right now?
We got to tell them, man.
I bet. So peep game, right? I have a budget selection. Rel follows his budget selection. We're going to put you onto game, and then what we've done for you guys is we literally have a link in the bio, right? Or in the description, I'm sorry, where you get to actually get our templates for free.
For what?
For free. Again, for free. We gave y'all ebooks, and now we're giving y'all a budget template.
You said for free?
Again.
That's my favorite word.
You feel me? So peep game. Some budget that you could follow, right? An idea. It's not my selection, whatever. It's actually very famous. It's the 50-30-20 split, right? So what that really means is all the money you make on a monthly basis, 50% of that you live off of, right? So for your expenses, like groceries or car payments or rent or something like that sort.
Haircut or anything.
All that.
Throw everything on there. Make sure you really know what you're spending.
Exactly, right? So 50% of it you want to live off of your expenses based. Then you got 30% where you actually invest and 20% you save, right? So that's 50-30-20 split, right? And I personally live by this one. I follow it. And the best part about it is when you get used to living off 50% of your income, right? And let's just say you're making like 50K, you get used to living off 25K, right? Next time you get a job, now you're making 100K. Well, bro, you already living off of 25.
Yeah, you know you could live off 25.
Right? So there's no need to really go crazy.
Yeah, don't up your living to 50K now. Like, you spend 50K a month for what? You know you could survive off 25.
We're not saying don't enjoy life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to go and be like, yo, I could live off 25, but maybe I deserve this. Maybe I could do like a 35. That's fine, bro. But remember, you know, do your budget, stick by it, and understand what you're going. For those of you right now who are saying, I can't do the 50%, it's too much, that's cool, that's fine, we got y'all covered. You could also do something like, 10% save, 10% invest, and live off of 80. If y'all don't want to do that either, Rel, talk to him.
Bro, y'all could follow what I do. Well, before I say what I do, I want y'all to really think though, do y'all really want to be wealthy? Because some people are just not willing to make these sacrifices. Because man, I can't live off 50%, I gotta. All right, but then don't be talking about getting wealthy or really making money. And it's like you got to provide for your family.
Bro, I got to talk about it, though. You know how it is. You got to flex on the gram.
Got to flex on the gram.
Come on now. You got to flex on the gram. You got the likes. You got to get the comments, likes. Come on.
Yeah, it's going to come with sacrifice, y'all. But, even things like social life, we write that into our budget. We literally have a section that says social life. You know what I mean? So y'all could budget in things.
Right now, people definitely think we're losers. They're like, oh, they budget when they go out.
That's a fact. They probably think we're losing.
Damn, we're about to lose everything.
Wait, are we losing?
Nah. Back talk, baby.
Oh, all right. Nah. But my strategy, though, everybody listen. So some people can't meet the 50%. I understand that. Real life, right? So what I say, I tell everybody I talk to, listen, once you calculate your expenses, how much are you spending per month in detail? You know how much you make per month. Everybody know how much they make per month. Oh, I make 4,000. I make 10,000. Whatever. Of your leftover money, please put 60% into your investments and 40% into your savings.
Yep.
That's the easiest way to do it. I would say 60% into investments, 40% into savings. That's my recommendation That's what I do for myself. And then, you know, once you get a certain amount of money into your savings, right? We kind of leave savings alone. That's when you have no kids.
Right.
You know,
that strategy is later down the line. If y'all feel like you're safe, if you have, and this is once again is our risk tolerance, right? Like he might feel safe having $6K because he's like, yo, my expenses are only $2K. I have enough for 3 months. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I might
in the savings account we talking about.
In the savings account, yeah. Like I might be like, yo, I need like $50K saved up, bro. I got a family and all that stuff. So it all depends. You feel me? Risk tolerance, it's on you, but that's definitely a breakdown.
A lot of people recommend between 3 to 6 months of expenses. Once you calculate your expenses, write that number. 3 months of that or 6 months of that in your savings account is all you need. Some people suggest that. Some people suggest 12 months.
Yeah.
You kind of have to think for yourself and think, how much do I really need my savings? Just don't fall in love with your savings, because due to inflation, which we'll talk about another day, you know, your savings, you're losing money through inflation.
Nah, for real. But also, don't forget right now, do not panic. If y'all really scared, I know, honestly, we talked a lot of crap right now about this stuff, but like for real, I know some people are actually scared to do their budget. I know people are scared to do their expenses. Don't worry about it. We got y'all. Link in bio, click it, so you have the template for you. Literally, everything is plug and play. Y'all input your numbers. I've inputted formulas for you guys. It's going to do its magic. It's color-coded too. Y'all like green and red and all that stuff. It's there for you, bro.
So the budget is automated. So once they put it in, it calculates everything.
Literally.
And it's for what?
Free.
For
free.
That's crazy.
I'm going to say it again. Free.
For free.
Like, why not? Y'all take advantage of this. Y'all have ebooks. Y'all have crypto ebooks. Y'all have stock ebooks. Now you have a budget. What other channel doing this for you on their second episode? Let me talk to me.
And we would, when we was doing budgeting back in the day, there wasn't no sources for this. Nobody
My help was Google.
Word, ain't nobody giving us no budgeting.
You feel me? Literally,
budgeting sheet.
Google, man. But for real, that is our top 5 investments. So let's just run it down for y'all, right? We got index funds. Y'all got credible individual stock picks. Y'all got Roth IRAs. Y'all got credible crypto picks. And obviously, investing in yourself via your budget. You feel me? It's super, super important.
Real life. And then also, we did not forget about y'all. We did not forget. We will be announcing the winners for the giveaway on Instagram. Okay, so you will see it on Instagram. The people who won the cash apps, our winners will be announced on Instagram. So make sure y'all stay tuned on that. Follow us on everything.
Yep. If y'all also thinking right now, what giveaway? Go back to our first episode if you haven't watched that already, because y'all baited, man. Y'all could have won this cash.
Gangster.
For real. Like always, you want to say it?
Like, comment, subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe. And one more time.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Oh,
you feel me? We're going to catch y'all next Wednesday. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this episode. But until then, peace.
Peace.